pass these out to everybody.
Close. Oh, that helps a little bit.
Yeah. Move it up if you want.
It's gonna be in somebody's way if I do. You guys let me know. In the way, in the way. In the way, in the way, in the way. You good? Y'all good?
Yeah. Lights gonna help. That's why I was getting you closer.
Okay, thank you. I think it's going to start any second, Johnny. Yes.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Chris Curtis. I'm the mayor of the city of Kankakee. And today we had an unfortunate and tragic event that happened in our city. Unfortunately, it's becoming an all too often occurrence that has to end, and it has to end quickly, especially in our community. What I would like to say is I'd like to thank the departments behind me for their quick action today, their resources, and the ability. They have worked tirelessly the last 5 to 6 hours here. I just want to thank the Kankakee County Sheriff's Office, the Illinois State Police, the FBI, the Kankakee County Coroner, Kankakee County Fire Department, our Public Works Department who assisted in cording off the area, and all the surrounding municipalities in our county that helped secure the situation quickly and apprehend the suspects. At this time, I'm going to introduce Chief Robin Passwater from the City of Kankakee Police Department, and he's going to read you a statement and take some questions.
All right, good evening. I am going to read from a statement because this can be a little confusing with stories. So I'm going to go through here and then afterwards I can maybe clear up a little bit of the questions you have. So today at approximately 9:45 a.m., the Kankakee City Police Department responded to the Kankakee County Courthouse for an active shooting. It's behind the courthouse. Our department responded along with all the area law enforcement officers. In the parking lot south of the courthouse, officers met up with a Moments police officer who had taken a 23-year-old Miguel Andrade into custody as he stood over a gunshot victim, 24-year-old Antonio Hernandez. Hernandez was pronounced dead at the scene by paramedics. We believe Hernandez is from Waukegan, Illinois. Other officers arriving at the scene located 2 other gunshot victims on Merchant Street, which is south of the courthouse, and one victim that was identified as Victor Andrade, a 26-year-old Hispanic male. He was located on the street. He had been shot at least one time. The coroner's office has told me now he's had multiple gunshots. A second gunshot victim, a 20-year-old black male, was located on the sidewalk. He was transported to area hospitals and just got out of surgery there. During interviews with investigators, I have been able to piece together what we believe occurred this morning. Victor Andrade, along with Miguel Andrade and another individual, had gone to the courthouse for a hearing. As these 3 individuals left the courthouse, they were approached by Antonio Hernandez, who had multiple weapons and began firing at Andrade and the other individual with them. Hernandez shot and killed Victor Andrade in the street, and the other individual was at the hospital on the sidewalk. Meanwhile, Miguel Andrade retrieved a firearm from his vehicle and began pursuing Antonio Hernandez. Antonio Hernandez and Miguel Andrade then engaged in a running gun battle on the south lawn of the courthouse and into a parking lot. During that shootout, Miguel Andrade shot and killed Antonio Hernandez. And at that time, right after that shooting occurred, the Moments police officer approached him and Miguel Andrade surrendered to him without incident. Miguel Andrade is currently in custody at the Kankakee County Detention Center. A second individual, a black male who ran from the area at the time, was also apprehended. However, Investigators have determined right now and believe that he was no longer involved in this incident, but he's still in custody under another unrelated charge. As the chief of the police, I would like to thank all the local law enforcement community who came out and assisted us today. Their quick response and assistance made this incident less tragic than what it could have really been. I don't know if anybody has any questions. I can answer a few.
Nature of the court hearing that they were attending, and is that in any way related to why they were targeted or targeting these other people? Were they involved in that case?
Not that I know of, that they weren't involved in the case. One of the individuals had a hearing, but I don't think it had to do with the shooter shooting it.
Can you confirm that Miguel Andrade is already facing charges for murder, intent to kill, possession of a stolen firearm? Is that same Miguel Andrade?
From a prior incident or this
Yeah,
incident?
no, different incident.
I cannot do that. I don't know for sure. Yes, these all of these individuals, except the victim at the hospital, are Latin Kings.
And the Andrades were cousins or brothers?
They're relatives. I just don't know their relationship.
Is this the same gang shooting on itself, or is this different factions?
Same gang within itself. So I think some of these members are older members, may no longer be in the gang, but within the gang itself.
So it appears to be an internal
Yes,
gang.
it's a long-going internal problem. These individuals.
Was there an AK-47 in the city?
We did recover a long gun, and it was a rifle, and I think it was a 7.62, so that's similar weapon.
Is that an assault rifle, fair to say?
Yes.
So does it appear that this was gang retaliation and something
Well, they're all members of the same gang, so there was some type of internal feud with them that it's been long, ongoing feud between them. So this is, I guess, one way they thought they could resolve it.
So like one faction Black Kings versus another?
No, they're all in the same group.
Chief, I have this question for you or for the mayor. Someone with an assault rifle recently in broad daylight right outside of the courthouse where anyone would have to know there would be a lot of law enforcement ready to respond. What do you say to the community to reassure them tonight, knowing that someone felt confident enough to go out and do that in the middle of the day?
Obviously it's shocking even for us to see that, and that just the mere fact that these individuals will come to a courthouse where obviously disputes are supposed to be resolved civilly, and in the rear of the courthouse start shooting individuals that they had some type of beef with. I think it just shows what's going on nationwide right now, that there's no respect for other human life, and there's a complete disregard for law enforcement and the communities around where they're shooting at.
Does this have anything to do with some recent homicides that have taken place in the city?
They're working on that, but I don't know if it's related to any of these other ones.
Gang task force down here?
There is not. We do not have a gang task force.
Is it a big problem?
It is, today, it's different than, obviously you guys are from Chicago, it's a different type of gang thing down here. It's more juveniles involved in that, they're unorganized. Like I said, this individual, we believe the suspect who shot Victor Andrade and the other individual is from Chicagoland, so some of these guys could come in down here, but no, it isn't like an everyday occurrence.
Were these guys had they left the courthouse after a hearing and they were out at outside of the courthouse? Is that what happened?
They left the courthouse after a hearing, were walking to their car in the parking lot, and from what we believe is Antonio Hernandez had parked near them and knew that they were coming out. So he obviously knew they were in court and decided to come out and shoot at them while they were coming out. So obviously he knew what was going on, and
Can you give us an update on the injuries for the third individuals in the hospital, the third shooting victim?
I just know one gunshot wound to him, and he's serious condition, and he just got out of surgery. So
He's out of surgery now.
yes, he just told me he's out of surgery.
Where was he shot? You know, where?
I don't know for sure, but I think he's in the abdomen, I believe.
Can you give us a sense of the timing between, you mentioned Miguel Andrade was able to retrieve a weapon from a nearby vehicle. Were they all standing right near this car? Did he run off and come back 10 minutes later? Like, what kind of time?
No, it was all right in the same incident. Apparently when Victor Andrade was getting shot, And the other individual, he was able to maneuver around the shooter and go back to the car and retrieve a gun from his car and start shooting at these guys.
Did you shot the fire?
I don't have that information.
Some of these people involved, they have any connection with the nuisance house, 400 block South Lincoln Avenue.
I would say no. This incident is not involved with that at all.
So was there, it appears, Chief, that this person who fired these shots seemingly had no regard for himself being taken into custody or anything like that. I mean, he was doing this in broad daylight and then surrendered. Was this some type of assassination?
Well, the shooter who shot Victor Andrade and the other individual was Antonio Hernandez. So he was pretty brazen to come up to the courthouse and do it right behind the rear of the courthouse with everybody else. Miguel Andrade then obviously probably believed he was acting self-defense, then shot at Antonio Hernandez.
I heard you earlier saying the public isn't in immediate danger, and obviously it seems like it was within them, but is there any reason to believe this is now put to bed? This issue with these guys is put to bed, there's not gonna be any, you're not worried about anything happening in the next several hours, or is it getting to nightfall?
I mean, obviously we have a lot of officers in because it could develop into more shootings. We just don't know, but we do have a lot of officers in checking houses and being proactive as we can because we don't want it to continue.
Hey, Chief, how many guns are taken off? Okay, weekly or monthly basis?
I don't have that, Jeff, right now on me. I couldn't tell you.
Legally, will we expect a report in the coming days for any of the people involved?
Probably within the next 48 hours, we'll have something out on charges, if the charges are developed, so that's probably the thing.
We'll take one more question.
Mayor, is there anything else you want to add to, what we were asking earlier about just the brazenness of this in the middle of the day? It appears to have been an assault rifle.
Absolutely.
Can you get closer to the mic?
It definitely is a scary thing. I'm thankful that there wasn't more victims today. With the shootings that occurred, I'm very, very thankful that it was just these 3 victims so far. And it wasn't, there's a lot of people that were at the courthouse at this time, obviously, and it could have been a lot worse. So, we appreciate everybody coming tonight. We'll have further details tomorrow as needed. Thank you.
Are there any mug shots? Yeah.
Months, anything?
We can work on that. We can work on that.
Okay, thank you.
All right, yep.
Thank you all for your service.